Well, new details on an accused wrong-way driver stopped by a DPS trooper over the weekend. Isaiah Llanos was booked into jail on numerous charges, including DUI and also aggravated assault. Now, court documents say that the 22-year-old drove several miles the wrong way on the I-10, on the 60, and also the Loop 101 before being stopped by that trooper, who says he turned on his lights and siren hoping that it would stop him, and when it didn't, he rammed his car head on. Court records say his blood alcohol level was .093.
A Phoenix mother is in jail facing a count of attempted murder. She's accused of running over her boyfriend after a drunken argument. Her boyfriend suffered a shattered leg and says that he takes responsibility for what happened. Fox 10's Nicole Garcia has more.
Now, Phoenix police say that the 38-year-old woman intentionally tried to kill her boyfriend by ramming into him and consequently into the corner of the house there. This is after a night of drinking and fighting over cheating allegations. Well, the boyfriend tells us he believes she was taken over by emotions and she acted in self-defense.
I don't think she understood how fast the truck was still going. There was so much emotion in that moment. Jolina's never done anything like this in her entire life.
TJ Ford says he'll have to get surgery on his broken leg. Despite his injuries, he says his girlfriend of 6 years, Jolina Morris, had no intent to kill or injure him. The incident happened Monday night and was captured by a neighbor's Ring camera. The couple had been arguing and they ended up drinking at a nearby bar. Both Phoenix police and Ford say the couple was physically fighting over the keys to the truck, and Ford admits to pushing Morris to the ground. He ended up walking home and Morris drove the pickup. During her initial court appearance, Morris pleaded with the judge to lower her bond from $500,000.
Since this is my first time getting in trouble or having anything like this, I was wondering if there was any way to have it set lower since I'm not a flight risk. I do have a baby at home. I work from home. I'm a full-time mom and a full-time stay-at-home mom. Like I work a full 40 hours a week. We didn't know if there was anything lesser that could happen since this is a first-time charge.
And Morris remains in jail tonight. She's facing 1 count of attempted murder and aggravated assault. A judge has set her bond at $500,000. I'm Nicole Garcia, Fox 10 News.
It is time for Silent Witness. Sergeant Brian Bauer joining us with details on a case they need a lot of help with. A Circle K employee attacked by a woman with a brick. We want to warn you, number one, the video is very, very difficult to watch. Number two, this video has gone national.
Yes.
I have seen this on Fox News, on so many national channels.
Oh, and I think it's because of the violence that you
Right.
explained. It's a crime which nobody can expect, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's very hard to understand why somebody would want to do something like this.
So we're watching the video. What do we see?
All right, so what we see is the first lady right there in the pink hooded sweatshirt. She comes in with a friend, and she's holding a brick. And when you play it again, you'll see that our production crew slowed it down, and the yellow circle has the brick that she uses to hit the clerk with.
Okay.
Also, what makes this especially violent is after she goes into the store and steals multiple items, she goes back to the same clerk. Oh, there you go with the brick.
Yeah.
And you'll see
Oh,
that
there it
circle
is.
is where
Okay.
the brick lands. Yep.
So this is a full-size brick, like something that you would build a wall or a house with.
Exactly. Yep.
When you see an attack like that, because that seems very personal, you ask, did they maybe know the clerk? Have we been able to talk to this victim? Do we have any more information?
So detectives did speak with the clerk. This was just out of the blue. The clerk was trying to close up for just a brief time to get some other work done.
Sure.
As the clerk was trying to close the door and lock it, that's when those two individuals came in. And like you said, with the violent potential, the clerk was down on the ground the entire time. The ladies go in there, they grab all the stuff, and then the suspect goes back to the clerk and continues that onslaught of assaulting her by pushing her head into the ground.
How is the victim doing?
The victim did receive a concussion from it. The victim's fine now, was treated. But again, because of this brutality, we're really looking out there trying to find any kind of tips that might be able to help us find her.
Would these, if they did this to someone they didn't know, perhaps, like this in the middle of the night, who else would they attack?
Exactly, and that's the question on everybody's mind right now. And for this reason specifically, Circle K has increased the reward price up to $6,000 for any information leading to her arrest.
Okay, who are we looking for?
So we are looking for a African-American female, probably 20 to 30 years old, 5'2" to roughly 5'5". Again, the clothing will be changed,
Sure.
but as far as the description, we do know that her name may go by Auntie or Pooh. And those are just information that I learned from the detectives involved in this
Which
case.
is a big tip.
Absolutely.
Big
in the
tip.
area of 32nd
Yeah.
Street and Broadway, that name can ring a bell to a lot of people.
Okay, so we have what could be potential names. We're looking at the clothing. Maybe they've talked about it or bragged about it, unfortunately. Exactly. How do they get a hold of you?
Best way to contact us is 480-WITNESS or 480-TESTIGO. Another good place is to go to silentwitness.org.
Very important. Any tip, you will be anonymous.
Absolutely, complete anonymity.
All right, thank you so much. We'll be sure to post that on our website once again so people can take a look at that. Maybe it'll jog their memory. Appreciate
Fantastic.
it.
A woman in Surprise has been charged with child abuse after police found her son unattended for at least an hour outside their home. When officers got there, the 2-year-old of Cheyenne Finney, her son, was found outside wearing only pants and covered in animal feces. Witnesses say it took more than an hour for Finney to leave her home to look for the child. Officers found unsafe conditions in the home, including the smell of urine coming from 5 dogs and 2 cats living there. Finney was arrested for child neglect. Her son is now in DCS custody.
A shooting at a nightclub in downtown Phoenix leaves a man dead. Fox 10's Marissa Sarbach has the latest details on the incident and what led to that shooting. Marissa.
Mark, we are standing exactly where that happened at the True Ultra Lounge here in downtown Phoenix. You can see the door here is actually still boarded up. We're told the club will be closed until at least Wednesday. And we do know this, an active investigation that impacted not only Central Ave and diverting traffic here, but also even impacting the westbound light rail trains.
The security guard had kicked out the subject that was shot. He returned with a firearm, pointed the firearm at the security guard, and at some point the security guard returned or fired at him, striking him.
Phoenix police say that man, 28-year-old Travante Hayes, was found on the ground outside of True Ultra Lounge near Central Ave and Roosevelt and died after being taken to a local hospital.
As you can imagine, there was a lot of people in the club, and a lot of them didn't see it and were asked to leave the area.
Detectives say they don't know what transpired when Hayes was kicked out of the club the first time, but they say the security guard shot in self-defense, was cooperative with police, and was later released. The investigation was going on well into the early morning on Monday.
I woke up about 4 a.m. I saw all the lights and saw all the evidence markers going from the door to across the street. I could tell the glass was broken. But as far as hearing anything, I didn't. I saw the yellow tape and all that.
Residents in the downtown area say they were surprised to hear about this happening in their neighborhood.
I was up on my roof and I did see the cop cars out here and I was wondering what was going on.
But they hope it'll be the last.
Shame. I hope that is not a recurring theme for the neighborhood.
And again, this club will be closed until at least Wednesday. We do also know that the light rail reopened about 5 o'clock this morning, and we did ask about charges for that security guard. At this point, it looks like there will be no charges for that. Reporting downtown Phoenix, Marissa Sarbach for Fox 10 News.